The cardinals in Rome have meetings each day in the run-up to the conclave, which convenes in about a week. They're talking in small groups, hearing addresses from each other in large groups, and generally getting a feel for each other and where their thoughts are on who among them should be the next pope. It must be kind of a very unique situation. Imagine being in the conclave and you're kind of like, wonder if he could be pope. I wonder if anybody's thinking I should be pope. The speculation from social media, secular media, legacy media, and so forth is completely pointless to listen to. Putting up lists of so-called frontrunners, it's laughable because they aren't based on anything, perhaps except maybe some faint name recognition. The truth is, Francis named a large number of cardinals from far-off, distant places, and most of them don't know each other. They spent almost zero time in Rome, and they have very little interaction with each other. So those meetings and gatherings going on right now, they're pretty important and also very much out of the view of talking heads. Yeah, as usual, there's some leaks and so forth by some cardinals and to some media outlets trying to sway the newspaper articles or whatever to make people vote the way they want to based on this speech or that speech. But it's really not really worth paying attention to. It's interesting reading, I suppose, but it's just all speculation. There are obviously favored candidates among the secular media who then, like we said, go and write their stories about why Cardinal such and such would be the best choice. But that's according to their desire to influence the conclave outcome with their reports. Truth is, at this point, literally only God knows literally who the next pope will be. The reason the interest is so intense over who the next pope will be is because global reset is going on, led by Trump politically, but supported by hundreds of millions of everyday normal people in dozens of countries all around the world who want to throw off the shackles of the elites. There's never been such a concretizing of all of this before. The elites, the globalists, really communists, have smuggled their agenda of world depopulation into virtually every country. And many of those countries, with the exception of Canada, sadly, are rebelling. The globalists can feel the coming earthquake, and they're not quite sure what to do next. They've been exposed, and they would very much like to influence the conclave to whatever degree they think they can to ensure they get an ally of their agenda as the next pope. But hundreds of millions of Catholics the world over are desirous of and praying for a reset pope, a man who wants to steer the church back to a greater emphasis on tradition following Francis's reign, where things were, politely said, all over the map. If such a man emerges onto the loggia an hour or so after that white smoke starts pumping out, it could be the nail in the coffin for globalism and all its attendant evils, both inside and outside the church. Just before you leave, please consider supporting our work here by clicking on the provided link. We give you straight talk here at Souls and Liberty as we bring you a perspective you don't find anywhere else, a blending of the spiritual and the temporal, because we understand how they sort of fit together and overlap and intersect with each other. It's the most informed view there is on the internet. So again, please click on that link and support our work. And thank you in advance. Coming to you from Houston, Texas, yeehaw! I'm Gary Michael Voris. God love you.